project, how do you go about including representation?
Personally, in terms of being able to write at DC, I've been blessed to be able to touch characters that are canonically, part of the Pride spectrum. But I think for characters that aren't necessarily explicitly out, if there is ambiguity, then you kind of just push it as far as you can. I mean, that's just me, though. I want to make it as queer as possible.
I just write about the world around me, and there's LGBTQ people in the world that I inhabit, and the stories I tell require the presence of LGBTQ characters, so I just put people in because they're necessary to tell a story about life as it is.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I learn my lines. Very done.
No, I mean, mine is sort of the why not? Like, I'm going to go until they stop me. I write a series called DC Bombshells, which is all of the which is all of the DC heroines in this alternate history of World War II. And so, given just this complete universe as my personal playground, I wanted to, have queer inclusion. And so, I got a lot of folk fussing early on about, like, well, you can't do that. It was the 40s. And, well, it's my 40s. I'm going to go till they stop me.
Yeah, I think, what everyone has been saying is on my mind. What Mark said, the world around me. The key for me, like, will a book feature a diversity of characters? Will a book feature queer, inclusive, and other characters from other communities? Is not even a question. The push for me, and hopefully I've achieved it, is, as he said, the world around us. And that means having enough representation that characters don't have to be the be-all and end-all for the community, and they're allowed to be imperfect, and they're allowed to be more richly layered and real. When I started with Midnighter, he came imperfect out of the box. He's a killing machine, so he was, from the start, not a sterling example for people. But there was the opportunity to still make him confident in his identity as a gay man, confident in his identity as a superhero or a vigilante, while at the same time having imperfections, not being right about everything, and not needing to be everything for the entire queer community. One of the biggest questions I would get is, well, how can you write this character that is going to, it's the first time that a gay male had led a book at DC Comics, how can you write this character that's going to service everybody's experience? And to me, the obligation is not to do that. To me, the obligation is to do a richly textured and respectful portrayal that has passion and life behind it, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. But make sure the characters are true and fully formed people, because that's the true representation we deserve. Not caricatures, but finally, after 50 years, 75 years, characters.
And also, I think, to jump in on that too, start from a place where you're not assuming that any particular character, if not stated, is straight. So I think that helps write these characters more organically, so that, if you are presented with the opportunity then to make a character queer, then it's not out of left field. I think that not assuming that they're straight is really important, just as a mindset for when you're going into writing.
I would say for me, it was, a lot of work I've done, both in comic book genre and outside of it. My career really began when I started really writing about myself and my own real experiences, and being gay was a big part of that. And it actually gave me a lot of opportunities. And so I've always felt like being really true to myself and figuring out a way to express myself through the characters I was writing, was something that was personally rewarding for me, and then, emotionally rewarding for myself and hopefully the audience that you're trying to entertain and captivate. And through the years, it's been a great honor to be a part of that in television. And then when I moved into becoming a shepherd of sorts for other characters' legacies, it was important first and foremost to really sort of, I think, uphold the characteristics of those characters that you responded to as a kid. But then the other part about it was, there's not a day or a week that goes by that we don't work on these characters, that you don't think of yourself as a kid reading those comic books for the first time. And for myself, I too had a crush on Robin, so I can join that. And a little something for the animated Aquaman, but I'm still working through that. I married that, actually. You've
got very good taste.
Yeah. Anyway, but you were having to sort of twist and turn and imagine, oh, maybe this character's gay, or what about this? And so it's been really nice to be a part of saying, no, these characters actually are gay or LGBTQ, and helping bring them forth and have a generation that is really representative for the next one, and that those kids not having to sort of, I think, imagine those characters, that they actually exist and that they're part of the fabric of that universe.
It's a big moment, I think, that you can, as you're talking about, like even when I was younger, at best you're searching for coded examples, and you don't. There's no need for that now. Like the next generation of people growing up won't be where people who are sitting on the stage were saying, well, maybe this character, maybe this, you're just like starving for it. You'll have a wealth of opportunity now to know from the beginning that there's nothing to be coded or hidden about.
I mean, that's an incredibly rewarding thing about working with so many younger people. They're the first ones to come into my office and say, well, okay, now they're gay, yes, but now let's make them more complex and interesting and deep and flawed, and it's not so much just the label, but it's let's get underneath that and really dramatize the most interesting character we can, and I think that's it's wonderful to already see it sort of the next iteration, I think.
I think all the work that you guys do is incredible, but I wonder, do you worry about being typecast as like gay storytellers?